And good evening, Eileen Gottlieb, the Heart Healer, back again to share more information with you. In yesterday's video, we talked about why I was intuitively guided to create two membership communities, the Heart Healers Ho'oponopono community, with a focus on Ho'oponopono and conscious heart connection. And the other is an essential oil community, sharing the love one oil drop at a time. And these kind of represent the sum total of three of my incredible passions and the focus of what I have been teaching for the last 27 plus years. Where does the time go, right? So review the replay of yesterday's video for more information about what I shared at that time. So I'm going to follow my notes here because I want to make sure that I'm sharing everything that my heart guided me to share with you today. So today we're going to talk about more of what the benefits are of these tools, because I consider the use of Ho'oponopono, the ancient Hawaiian process of forgiveness, atonement, transmutation, or problem solving, however you want to call it, right? Most commonly known in the ancient form, the prayer, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. The updated modern version is called self-identity through Ho'oponopono. We're going to talk a little bit more about the structure of that tomorrow, but this was a beautiful gift to humanity from Morna Simeona, a kahuna lapa'au and treasure to the Hawaiian people. She was named a treasure by the Hawaiian government back in, I believe, 1982. This was a woman that was very conscious of her connection to her source all her life and started her training as a kahuna when she was 3 years old. And in 1972, she was intuitively guided by her connection to update this process from one that was facilitated by either head of household or the local kahuna in ancient Hawaiian days. And we know that the culture of the ancient Hawaiians is over 2,500 years old. So it was a while ago. Transportation back and forth between islands was only by boat, right? And so most people lived within a very circumscribed area of their community. And so as there was more likely than not a kahuna per island or per community, one or the other, the head of household or the kahuna, was the facilitator. And this process could be somewhat confrontational. So when Morna Simeona was guided to update the process to something that was less confrontational, self-contained, that's why it's called self-identity through Ho'oponopono, it was really quite a gift that was given to everyone that was studying it at the time or anyone that has studied it since then. I feel truly blessed to have this tool. And this tool, along with conscious heart connection, which is simply breathing into and out of your heart center, the heart organ, or just this part of your chest, right, connects you to the energy of love, which is the highest vibration that exists anywhere in the universe. And anything that's a high vibration is healing to us as human beings. It raises our overall frequency. It feels good, right? And the higher the vibrations that we expose ourselves to, quality of water, quality of light, quality of food, quality of sound, right? Sound that is resonant with us, that's pleasing to us, all brings us into more and more higher and higher states of balance. And anytime we're in a higher state of balance, we have a greater opportunity for healing on all levels, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, which are the four components of the holistic model, the true holistic model, right? So when we talk about Ho'oponopono and conscious heart connection, we're talking about a tool that is self-contained. Once you learn it, it's yours for life. The key is you have to use it in order to benefit from it, like anything else in life, right? And it's portable. You take it everywhere you go. It's not a mouse, something that you have to carry with you. It's literally, it becomes a part of you. Can you say, I love you? Of course you can. Can you say thank you? Of course you can. I love you and thank you are two cleaning tools for Ho'oponopono. So if you're ever experiencing anything that you experience as, or that feels like a problem, issue, or challenge, just think the words, I love you and thank you repeatedly, either one. Because if I love you triggers you, just say thank you. I don't know anyone that's triggered by the word thank you in something that would not feel good to them, right? So thoughts to consider, right? So how easy is that? I love you or thank you. And there are many other ways of utilizing Ho'oponopono and the updated version, self-identity through Ho'oponopono, to clear everything and anything. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that. The potential is there for you to clean, to initiate the clearing of the root cause of anything, physically, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually. They will tell you that the only catch is that as easy as it is, it has to be a consistent practice in order for it to work, at least to work to the degree that you might want it to. You can always get benefit from it. Don't ever consider that just saying I love you or thank you, which is my gift to you in this video, right? That's not helpful. It is. But the more you do it, the more you understand how it works. When you use a tool from the place of understanding, you know, knowledge has power, right? The more effective that tool becomes. And so that's part of the joy of creating this community, is that it offers, this is the Heart Healers Ho'oponopono community, it's offering a consistent level of support so that you can be in a consistent Ho'oponopono practice, so that you can see the results that you want, whatever it is that you've decided to create a goal for yourself to initiate the clearing of whatever the problem is, right? So this is good stuff, right? And so simple, easy to use, portable, it's very affordable. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars to learn this. I like easy. I find, and I think you'll agree with this, easy is more motivating to keep using it. Something that's very complicated doesn't speak to me. I love astrology. I love understanding the applications of it, but don't ask me to take a course in it because it's too much information, too much data. That's not what speaks to me. What speaks to me is simplicity. Something that is easy to learn, easy to do. You take it anywhere and it's not expensive. Does that speak to your heart? I hope so, because that makes the most amount of sense to me, right? And the other piece of information that I think is really important is that both Ho'oponopono as well as essential oils, which we're going to talk about in just a second, they're ancient. They've been around for thousands of years. They work. Nothing stays around and is part of a culture or multiple cultures unless there's some redeeming quality to it. Otherwise, it would have become extinct like the dinosaurs. And so the fact that Ho'oponopono has stayed in the country, in the culture of who we are as human beings, not the country, in the culture of who we are as human beings, that it started in Hawaii, that it is global. and continues to be taught in many classes around the world says a lot to me about its effectiveness, its benefits for many people, not just me, right? So why essential oils? Well, essential oils are the lifeblood of a plant. You know, the pills in the cabinet or in the drugstore or in the health food store, all of our nutritional supplements, all our pharmaceuticals, we didn't have them thousands of years ago. People lived from the land, right? They created, our medicine people and shamans created mixtures of herbs from plants and different types of plant material to create salves for healing, to do cleansing ceremonies for disease processes. There were innumerable uses for plant-based medicine thousands of years ago. And everyone always went to the shaman or the medicine person. Well, we don't have that now. We're a very global community. We move around a lot, you know, but we have virtual capability. And so we have the ability to work with practitioners from around the world. We are so lucky in this expansion of technology, as much as it can drive us crazy. Think about how amazing it is to be able to watch this video alone and learn a little something and then go on with your day. No need to get on a plane, to travel, to take a class or a weekend workshop, although those are really lovely. But there's so much to learn that we can benefit from based on the technology that we have. And so back in the days of the Phoenicians, not remembering how many thousands of years ago that was, they created the first essential oil distillery. So as the lifeblood of a plant, they come from, essential oils come from different parts of the plant. Some come from the root, like ginger. Some come from a flower, like my favorite, rose, right? Or lavender. Some come from the leaves, or from the flower bud, like clove. Pine comes from different parts of the needles and the twigs and the leaves. So many different parts of a plant. Some, like sacred frankincense, come from the resin or sap that comes from behind the bark of the tree, right? So there's so many different parts of a plant that we are able to glean the essence of a plant, its lifeblood. And the beauty of it is that from the molecular structure of an essential oil, when we breathe it, when we apply it topically, or if we ingest it, depending upon the oil, and you have to know which oils can be used for what, part of why we're doing that membership, so that you can learn practical applications and be able to trust your own intuitive knowing based on knowledge and your intuition as to what oils to use to address different issues in your day-to-day life, right? And so the beauty of their molecular structure is that when your body is exposed to it, they immediately find their most comfortable environment. And when it's in our body, it's our bloodstream. Remember, they're the lifeblood of a plant. And so they immediately, when you apply it topically, there was a study done, you're going to forgive me, I don't always remember details, but I can provide it. There was a study done where a person had a heparin lock, a little IV in the wrist or in the hands, and lavender was applied around the belly button area. And every so many seconds, a little bit more blood was drawn to test for when the first signs of lavender essential oil chemically was found in the bloodstream. And it was in there within minutes, which speaks about why the quality of an essential oil is so imperative. because you don't want to put anything that you're going to breathe or apply topically or ingest that's going to find their way throughout your body, because it's going to go directly to your bloodstream in moments, unless it's an unadulterated product. It's as clean and as natural as it comes from the plant. These are not artificial essential oils. These are not fragrances. These are literally the essential product of a plant where the oil is gleaned from it. And the oils that I use, they are chemically tested every batch for its chemical constituency, so that anything that shows that there's a toxin in it, that it's adulterated in any way, because we do live in a bit of a toxic soup, right? That our water has impurities in it, our air has impurities in it, the soil does. So they check to make sure that the oils that they've just gleaned from plant material is clean. Otherwise, it's not used. And this is important to know. And it's information like this that we're going to be sharing with you. We meaning me, because I love to share, right? Okay. So we talked about what Ho'oponopono is, a little bit more about essential oils. So let's think about some uses really quickly as we go through the holistic model. So physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. So physically, I'm going to talk about essential oils because I trust and know with Ho'oponopono, it doesn't matter what the problem is, where it's showing up, you can initiate the cleaning of the root cause of it and add that to whatever else you're doing to promote balance and health and well-being in your life. With essential oils, for example, I'm going to pull from my own life here, right? So peppermint's a good one, right? Peppermint is one that years ago, when I stopped drinking caffeine, I started again. But when I stopped, right? You know how you get that sluggish feeling in the morning when you get up and it just feels like you can't keep your eyes open and you can't get moving, right? You really wish you had what are they called? Toothpicks to hold your eyes open. Well, guess what? Peppermint is amazing for that. 1 drop of peppermint oil in a cup of warm water is equal to about 200 peppermint tea bags. Just 1 drop of the essential oil. Now, when you drink it, you want to close your eyes because it's very strong and it can be really irritating to your eyes, but it's delightful, right? And that really helped me to get through that time. You know, if I go through tomorrow, I think I'm going to go through my routine because I don't want to keep you too much longer. Focus, clarity. Peppermint is also a good one for that. We also have a blend called Clarity that I love to use. And I actually have it right here. I always keep it by my computer. And the other is, and that helps with focus. And, you know, when we're more focused, we get more clarity. We're able to stay on task more. So therefore, we're more productive in a good way. Right? Another great use of peppermint is when I get leg cramps at night. I just apply that. There are other oils that I use as well, but peppermint is one of them. And it really helps to shift that ache that you get when you get a really bad Charlie horse, right? Nighttime leg cramps are a pain in the tushy, right? They're nasty. Anyway, all right. And then my favorite is for emotions, we can talk about citrus oils. Citrus oils are happy oils. They really help to lift our mood, enhance our frame of mind. If we're feeling a little yucky, just feeling a little down, or just feeling overwhelmed, putting essential oils that are citrusy, and they're very inexpensive. They come from the rind of the fruit. So it's lemon oil or grapefruit oil or orange oil, or a blend called Citrus Fresh or bergamot. They're all beautiful citrus oils that help to lift our mindset, our frame of mind, our mood, shall we say. And then my favorite is sacred frankincense. That comes from the frankincense tree, comes from the resin behind the bark of the tree. And oh, I love that. It is always right here with me. You'll always find it with me. It's either in my pocketbook if I'm out and about, which I don't do very much these days, soon, but it's always here. It's when I'm doing sessions. It's when I'm creating. I love it because it helps me to enhance my connectivity to my own self, as well as to that which is my source. Could be your source too, but I'll speak for myself, right? Whatever our source is in our own words. So these are some of the things that I think are so important, right? With Ho'oponopono, in 4 months' time, I was able to consciously heal post-traumatic stress disorder or disease from childhood, from my relationship with my mom. She was 93 at the time. And over a 4-month period of time, we went from the short version of the story, a 90 to 95% challenged relationship, because she was 93. She also had a little bit of mild to moderate cognitive impairment. So having a logical conversation with her wasn't really fruitful. Engagement was not fruitful. It only made things worse, right? So in literally 4 months, we shifted from 90 to 95% challenge in our relationship and 5 to 10% joy to a complete reversal, to one of 5 to 10% challenge and 90 to 95% joy, which I feel so incredibly blessed to have been able to accomplish that and enjoy that relationship with her for a full 1.5 years before she transitioned to spirit in 2020. Yeah, it's wild. Time flies, doesn't it? 2 years next week since lockdown in the US for the pandemic. It's been an extraordinary time. And I can't imagine having gone through everything that I have gone through myself. And I know that you have as well, because I talk to all of you, right? I hear from you. I read your posts on social media. I comment on them. I work with my clients. I've worked with thousands of clients over 27 plus years. I understand the human condition. I've been a nurse for over 50 years. People are my thing, right? I get people. I understand this human experience. And it is my passion and my joy to share tools to make it easier. When we're okay with us in our relationship with ourselves, the hearts and minds and bodies follow suit. Everything becomes easier. What your heart desires is easier to manifest when you're in balance with who you are in your relationship with yourself. And these tools promote that. My day begins with my oils, and I'm going to share my routine with you tomorrow. My day begins with Ho'oponopono. My day ends with Ho'oponopono. My day ends with my essential oils. And they are used throughout the day. I cannot imagine, nor do I choose to, my life without them. And that's why I'm really excited to share them with you. So stay tuned for tomorrow's video. And tomorrow we're going to share some of the basics of how actually to use Ho'oponopono, a little bit more about the history of it. And we're going to talk a little bit more about essential oils and different ways that you can use them throughout your day, like I've been doing for all these years. It's 23 years I'm using essential oils. All of it started with 1 bottle of lavender. And I'm so grateful. Okay, so I am Eileen, the heart healer. It is my joy to share this time with you. I hope you've learned a little something, and stay tuned for tomorrow's video. All right. And at the bottom of this page, there are links to the different communities. If it speaks to you, join me. This is a founding member launch. That means that you're paying 25% less if you choose the monthly payment option for both communities. And if you pay the yearly amount, it's an additional 5% off. So 30% savings this week only. Thank you for listening. I wish you a beautiful rest of your day. Much love. I love you and thank you. Bye now.